Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to another ramble. It is Monday, March 9th at 10:32 p.m. EST, and let us kick things off. So, first thing is first. Last night after the ramble, I believe I said to you all, the plan is to play something on my Switch, maybe my PC, but probably my Switch. So naturally, to go along with what I told you, I turned off my Switch and my PC, turned on my PlayStation, and watched a movie. I finished Spider-Man hold on. We're gonna pray this doesn't break anything. I'm gonna check which one it was, because I'm brain farting so hard on this, and I feel like I messed it up yesterday. Okay, I finished Spider-Man Far From Home. Alright, yeah. Like I was saying yesterday, I still stand by what I was saying. It's a good movie, probably my least favorite of the three, but definitely a good movie all the same. After I finished it, I just laid in bed, watching YouTube for a little bit, and then went to sleep. Set my alarms, woke up multiple times before then, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I set them for 6, 6:15, 6:30, and 7, maybe 7:15 as well. So I know I woke up a couple times without them. And I must have woken up other times with them and just not remember them, because the next time I remember waking up is 7:24, and I went, oh, I have class in about half an hour. This is terrifying. Alright, so I got up, got dressed really fast, ate Pop-Tart, left, drove off to class. So I get to class, and, I wheel into my spot. Also, I think I've said this before, but I just want to add that, if any of you ever noticed that I say I drive to class, wheeled in, drove off, whatever, somebody thought it was really funny one day in class. They were like, it's really funny that everything you say about moving, you put it in, car terms or vehicle terms. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm in my chair, and I feel like I'd be lying to you if I said I walked, because I don't walk anywhere. Sorry, that just popped into my head randomly. I'm sure I've said it before, but it still cracks me up a little bit. So yeah, I drove to class, wheeled into my spot, as I was saying. And, my group showed up, and I studied for the quiz we were supposed to have today, and then the advisor, instructor guy goes, yeah, I'm going to guess nobody studied for the quiz, so we're moving it to Wednesday. You're telling me I studied for nothing? Apologies if that sounded terrible. I brought that really up close to my mouth. I was trying to add an impact, and I have a feeling it probably just messed everything up. Oh, also, today is the first day I took my antidepressants. We will get into that momentarily. So, we had our day of team projects, and so I got out of my chair, and, my legs were so unsteady. It was terrible. So I put my laptop in my bag, got back in my chair. I was like, that was really weird. And then I went on about my day, and I drove to my next class. And then I, put my laptop on my desk and got out of my chair and walked over to my seat, and my legs were super unstable and shaky again. And I almost fell over, and I'm like, this is really weird. All right, whatever. So, had class and, grabbed my laptop and got in my chair again. Legs are still all weird. I'm like, strangest thing. And, so I drove to the food place, got some lunch, came back here, got ready for my therapy appointment, and then I'm sorry, I kind of blanked there for a second, so I got ready for my appointment, had my appointment, we talked about, how are things, I said, I'm on my antidepressants as of now, I told her about, my appointment and, what we went over, complained about a meeting I had 2 weeks ago, and we scheduled the next one. Nothing too serious today. However, she did remind me that no leaving this mortal plane until I get to see my bestie again, because that would be rude, and that would be very rude and hurtful to her, which I couldn't disagree with. So then I get off I finish the appointment, and I text my mom to see if she's available. So I call my mom, and I'm telling her about my classes, and I'm telling her about the appointment. And then I go, yeah, also, it's really weird. My legs are being very stiff and shaky and miserable, and it's really weird that today I started my meds and this is happening. So okay, well, I'm like, let's keep trying them. Maybe if it is because of them, maybe it'll wear off, and maybe it'll stop after you get through like a couple weeks or whatever, and maybe it'll get better as I take it. So she's like, okay, we'll talk about this later. So I hang up the phone, and so then I Google, Lexapro cerebral palsy, because that's what I have, and it says, some cases, it can affect your motor skills and moving, and I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, it can make legs more stiff and rigid. I'm like, that's fantastic. That's exactly my problem. My mom proceeds to Google the same thing and sends me the thing I just read. So I thought, great. There is a very high chance now that the Lexapro that I'm on is the cause of my severe leg problems, which, mind you, I already have leg problems because someone decided that when I was birthed. But now they're just expanded. Isn't that awesome? I'm hoping tomorrow when I take another one, it'll either be slightly better or it'll happen again so that I can confirm that this is indeed causing it. It has definitely improved since earlier today. My legs hurt a little bit, but I don't know if that's I don't know. I'm gonna blame the meds or whatever this is. I'm gonna blame it because I feel like they're hurting far too much than what they should be, which is a little inconvenient, because I'm just trying to take my meds and be not miserable. Why does leg pain have to come with it? So yeah, then I sorry, I wanted to sit up really quick. So then I was just kind of vibing, watching YouTube, because I didn't really want to move around at all. So I watched it was like an hour, I think it was an hour 15 comedy special by this guy named Ben Brainard, I think. Oh my god, it was the funniest thing ever. And it also, I felt like things he was talking about, I felt like they applied to me in certain ways sometimes, and I felt kind of called out by what he was talking about. It was a very good special. It was called, it's on YouTube, like I said, it was an hour 15, and it is called, in case any of you want to check it out, I feel obligated to share the title. It was called, Ben Brainard, What a Mature Child, full stand-up comedy special, an hour 17 minutes. And then also he's got some other specials I see here that I'm tempted to check out after the fact. But that seems to be his debut special that he made that's really long and is on his channel. So like I said, I would highly recommend it. And a very fun time listening to it. I wish he had more big specials like this, because now I want more, and they just don't exist. So yeah, I watched that, and then I went and got some dinner. Had ramen to celebrate coming back from spring break. Then I came back here and scheduled my classes for next semester, which everything seems to be in order and seems to have fit perfectly, almost too perfectly, so I'm kind of worried that something's going to go horribly wrong. But I guess we'll see. Then I took a shower, hopped out, and here we are. So you all are caught up on today's events. I will say, though, this is really random. Watching that comedy special, it reminds me of when my parents told me I should be a stand-up comedian, or a sit-down comedian, if you will, because there's no way my legs could handle standing for an hour straight. I do think doing comedy sounds like fun. However, I am the most anxious, nervous, panic attacky, worst public speaking person ever, so I also don't think that would roll over well. Also, I don't know, as funny as I think some of my stories are, I don't trust myself to have enough material for the whole thing, for a proper length special thing. And I know people don't start with having hour-long specials or whatever, but, considering that's all I watch when I watch comedy stuff, that's what I'm having to base my stuff on, and I'm I don't know if I could do stories for that long, and if I could, I don't know if they're good enough. I'm not saying I'm debating a career change to stand-up comedy. It's just sometimes I think about it, because my parents say I would be really good at it. I have been told I am a decent storyteller. I don't know if that is true. But who knows? I suppose it would help if I had a story to tell today to use as an example, but I unfortunately don't have one. Although typically most of the stories I end up with, when I'm telling them, I'm like, this was not a good event, so I'm kind of glad I don't have a story to tell. At least they're funny, but doesn't mean they're good. Anyway, I feel like I've covered everything I'm going to cover, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. So, if you liked what you're listening to, hit like, leave feedback in the comments below, subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay up to date things I post. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined to do so. The link for that is in the description. Whew. And as always, don't forget. Ooh, sorry. Also, saw my Hot Topic order shipped. Thing I just ordered yesterday, so here's hoping it gets here relatively soon. But as always, don't forget, your support means the world to me, and I love you all. But most importantly, I miss my bestie more than anyone else and anything else in the entire world. And I can't wait until I get to talk to her again, hang out with her, do stuff with her. You know the drill, because I say it every single time, but I'm gonna keep saying it because my bestie is amazing, and I don't know, I like mentioning her. I don't know if she would approve, but I don't know, it's just fun. But I will be back tomorrow with another ramble. Until then, bye.